novel coronavirus, since its detection in December last year, has refused to relent, taking the entire world in its grip as the latest updates reports of over 34 million infections and death tally over 1 million. The scenario is no better in Nepal, as the country reported of the highest single-day spike of over 2,700 cases, including 1,600 from the federal capital alone. With festivities around the corner, the recent increase in cases does not seem to augur well for the countrymen. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanama, and these are the top stories of the hour. The federal capital reports over 1,600 COVID-19 cases. A total of 2,722 new cases of COVID-19 confirmed, taking the total number of coronavirus cases past 82,000. Province 5 floats a proposal at its assembly to name the province as Lumbini and the provincial capital as Dang. Sporadic protests reported from Butwal. US President Donald Trump flown to hospital less than 24 hours after testing positive for coronavirus. And Chennai Super Kings face third consecutive defeat at the Indian Premier League. Sunrisers Hyderabad clinched a 7-run win to climb to the 4th place in the league table. The federal capital saw over 1,600 cases the past 24 hours, with 2,722 new coronavirus cases all over the country, taking the national tally past 82,000 mark. The number is the highest so far recorded in the country since the virus was first detected in early February. 11 individuals succumbed to the virus, taking the COVID-19 death tally to 520 as of latest update. The Health Ministry informed that out of the 2,722 infected, 1,638 were reported from the federal capital. Kathmandu district alone reported 1,280 cases, Lalitpur reported 162 and Bhaktapur 196. With the addition of 2,722 new cases, the country's infection tally has climbed to 82,450. Morang reported 150 cases, Surkhet 122, Rupandehi 92, Chitwan 83 and Baki 70. 3,307 individuals registered full recovery in the past 24 hours, taking the national recovery to 60,696. Now, the Province 5 government has floated a proposal at its assembly to name the province Lumbini and establish the provincial capital in Dang's Deokhuri Valley. Province 5 Minister for Internal Affairs and Law, Kulprasad Kesi, recommended the province to be named as Lumbini and the provincial capital in Dang's Bhaluwang, that lies between Gadawa and Rapti Sonari of Dang and Arga Kachi's Sheet Ganga. The Province 5 Assembly will dwell on the proposal on Monday. Earlier, there were differences within the Nepal Communist Party in terms of provincial capital between Dang and Butwal. Sources said that an agreement between NCP chairman and Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and the executive chairman Pushpa Kamal Dahal had reached an understanding regarding the provincial name and the capital. It requires a 2/3 majority in the provincial government to endorse the proposal presented at the provincial assembly. Meanwhile, the student union staged a protest against the proposal to establish Province 5 capital in Deokhuri of Dang. The student union started demonstrating after the Province 5 Minister of Internal Affairs and Law, Kulprasad Kesi, presented a proposal with the procedure relating to the determination of the capital and the name of the province. Demonstrations were carried out in Butwal's hospital line, Chauraha Highway, Devi Nagar, including various places in Rupandehi. Likewise, the union vandalized a vehicle in Kalika Path in front of the Provincial Assembly building. Now, moving on, the dispute within the two factions in the ruling Nepal Communist Party that had almost resulted in the party split 5 months ago has once again come to the fore. With differences between the chairman duo KP Sharma Oli and Pushpa Kamal Dahal intact over the issue of cabinet restructuring, Premier Oli's unilateral ways of appointing 2 key envoys on Thursday without a single consultation in the party has infuriated the Dahal panel in the ruling party.
It was due to Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's style of single-handedly leading the party and the government. Some senior leaders, including Executive Chairman Pushpakamal Dahal, had earlier demanded the resignation of Chairman Oli from his dual post. The heated disputes in the Secretariat and Standing Committee meeting lasted for some 3 months, with speculations that the party was on the verge of a split. It all ensured in the formation of a special task force to end the internal bickering. Riding on the report of the task force, a consensus was reached between the chairman duo to run the party and the government. However, for 2 weeks since the deal, the chairman duo remained engaged to seek a common stand on the issue cabinet restructuring. In the meantime, Prime Minister Oli appointed Yuvaraj Khatiora his financial advisor, who was given this position only 2 weeks ago as the Nepalese envoy to the US. Likewise, Chief Secretary Lok Darshan Regmi was appointed Nepalese ambassador to England. The latest decisions made by Prime Minister Oli have visibly infuriated the Dahal camp in the party. The disgruntled leaders have now demanded a serious dialogue with Chairman Oli, saying that Chairman and Prime Minister Oli has repeatedly expressed commitment to correct his unilateral ways but failed to implement his pledge into practice. Executive Chairman Dahal, senior leaders Madhav Kumar Nepal and Jhalanath Khanal are all geared up to raise their voice one more time against Chairman Oli. Party spokesperson Naren Kaji Shrestha took to the social media to pitch his objection to Oli's modus operandi on Friday. Amid the flaring tensions, the party is bracing for another round of Secretariat meeting on Saturday.
At a time when private laboratories have been denying the government's directive of charging the maximum of 2,000 rupees for swab tests through PCR method, the Supreme Court has issued a mandamus for free-of-cost PCR tests. If this directive given by the Supreme Court gets implemented, private laboratories won't be able to charge a single rupee from public. The question is, however, rife regarding the government mechanism to implement the top court's decision. The government issued Public Health Service Code in mid-September against the constitutional and legal provision of primary health service and free treatment for communicable diseases. A writ was filed at the Supreme Court as the government issued the code intending to benefit private sectors by breaching its responsibilities. Announcing its verdict on the writ, the Supreme Court issued the mandamus on Thursday to make the PCR test free of cost. The top court interference means that both the government and private hospitals are bound to conduct cost-free swab samples test through the PCR method. The government had initially fixed the price of a PCR test at 5,500 rupees. That was twice reduced to 4,400 and again to 2,000 rupees. Currently, there are 50 laboratories providing the PCR test facility. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry has stated that the PCR test would be free of cost only after receiving details about the mandamus. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the local residents in Argakachi what should be done to eliminate the hassles caused by the land revenue offices in the name of online services. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
Net ko problem छ यसमा त अब net को जुन कामको लागि हामीले 10 बजे आएर 12 बजेसम्म घर फर्किन्थ्यौं अहिले त्यही कामको लागि 2 दिनसम्म रहनु परेको छ
अंश छुटाउनको लागि र भाग लाउनको लागि आएको हैन अनि हामी आज 3 दिन भयो हामी आएको यहाँ शुक्रबार आउँदाखेरि पनि नेट चलेको थिएन
नेटको सुविधाहरू अलि सहज रूपमा चाहिँ हुनुपर्ने हो जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई हैन यस्तो पटक पटक 1000 रुपैयाँमा हुने काम 10000 लाग्छ भनी पार मान्छेले सुविधाहरू कहाँबाट पाउने
हिँड्न डुल्नको लागि पैसा हुन्छ हैन डर पनि छ के गर्ने 7-8 दिन भयो हामी आए
हामी 8-9 जनाको टिम भएर आएको अब पैसा मान्छेसँग सीमित छ गाडी लिएर आइयो अहिले आइसकेपछि नेटको समस्याले चाहिँ अहिलेसम्म 1.5-2 बजिसक्यो एक जनाको पनि काम भएको छैन
कलम चल्ने सिस्टम करिब हराइसकेको छ अब त्यही एउटा नेटको भरमा परेर बस्दाखेरि त सेवाग्राहीहरु 2 दिन 3 दिन पनि यहाँ बस्नुपर्छ नेट आज मात्र नआएको नि भोलि नआउला पर्सि नआउला वैकल्पिक व्यवस्था नभएपछि त उहाँहरुले त्यतिन्जेल कुर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ त्यो समस्याबाट जुन राहत पाउनको लागि वैकल्पिक व्यवस्था अनिवार्य छ त्यसको लागि सम्बन्धित निकायको ध्यान जान जरुरी
Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, who do you think is responsible for the sales of low quality and harmful sanitizers? Your options are A, manufacturers, B, monitoring agencies, and C, consumers. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And with that, it's now time for our special segment, Media Watch.
The government promoted Foreign Secretary Sankar Das Bairagi to the post of Chief Secretary on Thursday. The cabinet meeting held at the Prime Minister's official residence in Balwatar on Thursday approved the resignation of incumbent Chief Secretary Lok Darshan Regmi and promoted Secretary Bairagi to the post of Chief Secretary. Secretary Bairagi was due to retire on 8th of October, while incumbent Chief Secretary Regmi was due to retire on 22nd of October. Regmi was urged by the government to resign before his retirement to pave way for Bairagi to become the Chief Secretary. Meanwhile, the cabinet also nominated Regmi for the post of Nepalese ambassador to the United Kingdom. Likewise, Thursday's cabinet meeting also recommended Prime Minister's financial advisor Dr. Yuvraj Khatiwada for the post of Nepalese ambassador to the United States. Dr. Khatiwada had stepped down from the post of finance minister on 4th of September and was later appointed as a financial advisor to the Prime Minister on 15th of September. President Bidya Devi Bhandari issued 3 ordinances on Monday upon the recommendation of the government. President Bhandari issued ordinances related to the amendment of acid and other harmful chemicals and criminal offense and criminal procedure acts. As per the amendment, strict provisions of 20 years of imprisonment and up to 1 million rupees in penalty have been set for acid attackers. The government had endorsed and forwarded the ordinance bill to the president on 24th of September. Likewise, President Bhandari also issued the First Amendment regarding operation, supervision and coordination of Nepal Police and Province Police. The Supreme Court issued a mandamus in the name of the government on Thursday to carry out free COVID-19 tests through the PCR method. A joint bench of Justices Ananda Mohan Bhattarai and Tankabahadur Mokhtan issued the order to conduct free-of-cost coronavirus tests through the PCR method from now onwards. Advocates Kesar Chand Keshi and Lokendra Oli had filed a writ petition at the Apex Court demanding cost-free coronavirus tests, saying that the health treatment during the pandemic is the fundamental rights of the citizens ensured by the Constitution. This is Abhyuday Shrestha for Media Watch and Kantipur News Desk.
That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead.